Hello and welcome to Quick Looks with the Casual Hour. My name is Bobby. Joining me today is the gamer on the go, Chase Kinnicky, and we're gonna get really weird today, Chase.
Ooh, I love to get weird.
How about getting weird in the West?
Sure. I'll get weird with you anywhere, Bobby.
Well, I'm happy to hear it. We're heading to Weird West, one of the newest darlings to hit Game Pass and PC, and I think a few other things. But before we tell you all about that, like and subscribe to our channel. We play a lot of fun video games like this one, and we stream them sometimes over on Twitch. This is the best place to find out what's up with the Casual Hour, so like and subscribe. Chase, what do you know about Weird West?
I know it came out at the end of March.
Okay.
And it's on PC, PlayStation 4, and Xbox.
Okay.
It's published by Devolver Digital. It's developed by WolfEye Studios, and I seem to remember somebody saying that there were a lot of former Arcane people who were working on this.
Yes, I think WolfEye has become kind of a refuge for some of those old developers from Arcane.
Okay.
You know, Dishonored folks, Prey folks,
Yeah.
your friends and mine.
Sure. Then, Bobby, are you familiar with Weird West as a genre?
Not really.
Yeah, I wasn't either. When I pulled up the page for this game, it also was talking about how there's a genre collectively for the hybrid genres of fantasy western, horror western, and science fiction western.
I mean, that makes a lot of sense here. I mean,
yeah.
what I know about the game so far, yeah, that seems pretty on the nose.
I'm trying to see if there's some other examples in this Wikipedia thing of things here. Anything that I know. The Circus of Dr. Lau from 1935 is a Weird West novel.
Huh. Well, I can tell you that I've put a decent amount of time into this game so far. And
okay.
It came out
Wild Wild West is listed under the films area, so I guess that's right.
Possibly, sure.
All right, let's move on to that. Well, how's the game, Bobby?
I really like this game a whole lot, actually. It was supposed to come out earlier in the year. It just came out March 31st after some delays. And I've put a decent amount of time into it. We're going to be playing this today on PC Game Pass, and I think this is a huge win for the Game Pass. I think it makes a lot of sense for that platform, for sure.
Is this a posse you're rolling around with?
Yeah, man, that's one of the cool things about the game. So a few things to call out. That character that you see there, her name is Jane Bell, and I don't know why. I thought this was going to be kind of a nameless main character that you got to create and put into some shit.
Yeah.
But there is a narrative for this character, and there are people that you can posse up with, and a lot of them are going to be hired hands. So do you see this icon above this guy's head here?
Yeah.
So I could buy him if I wanted to. I could buy his skills and talents. He's 100 coins. I think he's 100. No, he's 200. Sorry. So you could, if I didn't have a full posse, I could buy him and have him, and he stays with me. Now, there's some cool stuff with that. So Mont Clasp here, whenever you interact with somebody, you got all these options to dismiss them, and then they can also kind of mule your extra loot that comes with it, which is super helpful. But then you can also choose their loadout and give them a little bit of like, hey, I want you to be no guns on this. Like, we're going to try and stealth it a little bit. But we're deep.
Are they kind of blank slates, or do they have certain archetypes of like, oh, this guy's a heavy, and he's gonna be better for heavier equipment kind of stuff? Or
that's a great question. So I have a few people that I've worked with that each carry their own type of loot with them or gear. So he's a deputy, and he's somebody that you get very early on. So you can see down at the bottom of my screen, there's numbers that go by. That's like an armor rating, and he has that star. He's a deputy, and he was high level, very effective early on in the game, and he's been with me the whole time. But Yi Song over here is an outlaw robber, and interestingly enough about that, based off of your So this is your inventory screen. Over there on the left, you can see that you are a bounty hunter. It shows you your health. It has your AP, and then beneath it, you have a reputation. And I found out that certain things in the game will happen based off your reputation. That is impacted based off of how you interact with the world. So if I kill an innocent person, that's going to lower my reputation. And if I continue to do things like steal or maybe go against the law, that's going to continue to tank down my reputation to a point where you'll start to get hunted by bounty hunters. Based off of my reputation, I've gotten a posse here with me. So like some people will agree and want to work with you because of your reputation, and others will not because of the same thing. The other thing that you'll start to see is you get discounts when you go into certain places. So like this is a general store. We're also playing this in we're currently at Grackle, and this is the world map. So anything in the light blue color is going to be a side quest. Anything in yellow is your main storyline. Grackle happens to be the main city that you first come to, and when you go over it, you can see all those icons list the things that you can do, from banking to blacksmithing to general stores, your weapon handlers. You got stables to buy horses, you can rest up, etc. Bounty boards, all that fun stuff.
Just on first glance, this is all pretty dense. Like, the information is really dense. Of look at all these icons, look at all this equipment and inventory slots. Does it kind of ease you into that, or does it all just kind of throw you in right at the beginning?
So this game doesn't do a whole lot of hand holding, but what it does is it encourages you to experiment. And you're going to see, like, early on in this game, tool tips telling you, like, hey, it's okay, go ahead and autosave and then kill that person. See what happens when you do that. And you can kill any single person in this game. You can make anything go off the rails in this game, and it'll let you read quite a bit about what you're doing, but the systems in play, it doesn't do a whole lot to explain it. And this is like how it throws you into it. Your house is down here, the Bell Steep. You wake up to some gangsters coming to your property. They steal your husband and they kill your dog and your son, and you have to go out
your dog.
Yep. And you are an ex-bounty hunter at the time. You have buried your irons. You dig up your irons, you go back out for vengeance, and that's where the game kicks off. And as
so
we start
somebody
to travel,
just watched John Wick, is what you're saying?
Pretty much. So let's head over to Four Pines really quick. I'm going to travel there, and hey, what do you know? This is one of the things that you can experience in the game as you're going from place to place. It's a dice roll. Sometimes you get highway robbery, other times you're going to get a weird occult trying to raise somebody from the dead. In this case, we're going to be asked to probably pay a bounty here, or a fee. And I don't think that this guy's really thought this through. Alright, they're basically telling you that you're trespassing, and let's say it's $181. That seems a little high for my blood. I'm choosing violence.
Okay.
And you, friends, are going to get shot. Alright, that one's down. Who else do we got?
Okay, so I didn't know you could move the camera. That's kind of cool. And this combat is in real time.
Yep. All right, that person's down, and I can zoom back out, and I can also.
This friendly intervention thing.
Oh, so as you play the game, there's going to be multiple opportunities where you can. So, like this person here, Henry. I saved Henry. And I saved him in such a way that he's now indebted to me by his own claim for life. And little things like that, like, hey, you're up against some shit, they're gonna pop in at an opportune time and help you out because you've done something solid for them.
Okay.
And so that's that yellow kind of clasped fist there. Now, once that's done, you can see on the map in the upper right-hand corner, there's a bunch of X's on the ground.
That's where all the bodies are, I imagine.
Yep. And so everybody
easy
cleanup, and you're gonna find a bunch of different types of things like ammo. I can grab this gun, so I can just take that if I had room in my inventory, and I can take all those things. But one of the things I really appreciate, you get a lot of gear in this game. They do colored loot and different star ratings, so I can carry up to 48. You can see I'm pretty full here. That gun that I just got doesn't really have much to offer compared to some of these other ones. It's a much lower weapon. When you scrap it, it automatically puts ammo of that category back into your pocket.
Oh, okay.
So if I'm out and about and I'm wanting like to use a certain type of weapon, I've got options for it, and I can just continue to. And right here, I can just scrap that and then hold that and get everything. So now I've got loot that I can take back to town to sell, and then I can use that to buy better gear. You can also do a bunch of bounty quests, and in doing so, you get some nice rewards. They even do the whole like bring him back alive, bring him back dead. You get a better reward for it.
Mm-hmm.
Now you might be wondering, you can see in my posse I've got 2 people, but there's a 3rd person here. That's Snack. He's a villager.
Okay.
And Snack wants you to take him to somebody to become a snack. And he said, you know what, they don't really need much of me, they just need my brain. I'm a bit leathery. They can chew me if they want, but yeah, I'm not the guy that they probably want to eat. So why don't we just see if that's true?
So is he just kind of in your party until... Oh, shit. Okay. I was going to ask, is he just kind of in your party until you deliver him?
Yeah. Yeah. So I just took his brain, and now I don't have Snack at all. So Snack's dead. But his brain's there. And,
but he was helping you.
He wasn't helping anything.
Okay.
Also, you can shoot
the
birds and get meat. And anytime you come across a fire, you can do some cooking there. The bars that you see here, like they've got copper, iron, and silver. That's used to upgrade your gear. And then there's other materials that you use to upgrade that. So like if you have deer leather, I can upgrade this to another tier. Same thing for this. Like this is going to require silver nuggets. One thing I want to show you really quick here is this is made by Arcane. Well, the people who used to work for Arcane. So
sure.
If you've played those games, you can see in the bottom right corner, I've got these purple icons there.
Yeah, those look familiar.
And if you've played Dishonored, you know that like that game combines gunplay with some kind of supernatural abilities. You are a marked individual. So when you start the game up, it's a really weird setting, and you get branded. Your face gets a brand on it, and you're sent on your way. And they don't really explain a whole lot of it, but other people that you come across, like, oh, you're marked. They say weird things, and they kind of acknowledge it. In the game, you're going to find these nymph pieces, the nymph relics up there. So you can see in the upper right corner, I currently have 5 of them. And for Jane, there's 4 abilities that you can upgrade and unlock. So I can do a roundhouse kick, and that will do like a really great melee, kind of clear out the work there. This is a shrapnel mine, so I can throw a mine down that's going to just blow everybody up. This one's really handy. I can make everybody in that circle that I lay down fight for me for a period of time, and then I can slow down time and make some decisions. The other pieces are each one of your guns has their own subset abilities that you can unlock. So if you're really into using a revolver, well, I can do one that just dumps out my entire ammo. But like this rifle, I really like this ability. My next shot is silent, so it doesn't alert anybody, and it does...
Oh, that's very nice.
Yeah, it's great. And then that bar on the right-hand side is how much of my action points I have. Over on the left-hand side of the screen, I've got a few different tonic bottles there. That bottom one, that purple one, completely replenishes that ability. So if I hold down RB and press a face button on a controller, I can activate that. If I'm aiming a gun, and this is like a twin-stick shooter, if you couldn't tell, like by the movement. Now that has changed, so you can see that my abilities changed based off the weapon I'm using. Sure. And then if I hold down RB, I can trigger one of those effects for the gun.
Okay.
You also have a horse that you can buy, and your horse will have different abilities that you can leverage and take advantage of. But one of the things I'm going to call out, so we're going to get into a little spoil. Like, I mean, I've already showed you there with Snack. That's kind of a late game addition to your crew, and really one of the steps you need to take before getting to the end of Jane's story. And I thought that we were getting pretty close to some things when I was playing this. I'm like, am I going to? Is this over? Like, am I beating the game already? And I didn't think that I was that far into it. But
how much time do you think you've put into this game so far?
I would say probably like 5 to 8 hours if I had to guess, and maybe more, maybe less. I don't know for certain, but what I do know is that I've completed Jane's story, and one of the things about that is I thought that maybe like it would just be like, okay, there's a lot of options. You can play this as an outlaw. You can play it however you want to. No, it does a completely different thing. You play as a brand new character in this. So when you start the game and you're being branded for the first time, you see that there's like 4 or 5 spots on the wall of silhouettes, and this next one, you're playing as a pig man.
Oh, okay.
So this one launches, and you're just hanging out with a bunch of pig men.
Sure. Yeah.
And it completely changes the game up. So when you come over,
I bet.
So you have a whole new set of perks that you're going to be upgrading and adding new abilities to. Like,
oh, wow. Okay.
Completely different than Jane. The one thing, so you can see here's Jane that we had. I've unlocked all these already. So when you play the game, you're going to find golden aces. They unlock these abilities in the game. So increase your health, your reload speed. This is going to be increasing your posse output. And as you level them up, they require more cards each time. So it starts with 1 card, then 3, and then I think 5 for each one of these. So with each character that you play as, that carries over now. And
okay,
these abilities
like global unlocks. Okay.
Yep, so these are your global. You have new objectives, and again, all new abilities. So still revolvers, shotguns, rifles, bows, melee, like all those weapons are the exact same. So like anything that I unlock here is going to be the same for the pigman, but these abilities are going to be very different than what Jane had.
Sure.
And that's, I think, pretty fucking wild.
Is it the same map?
Let's take a look. So yes, but
you're just in a different part of it.
Yeah. So like here's Grackle where we're at. This is oh, that's interesting.
That she could be, your previous character could be a mercenary for yourself? For your new character? Is that what that means?
Yeah, that's because I mean she's got the symbol there above her head. That's really fucking cool. Huh. Okay. So I hadn't explored up this far, but one of the things it tells you early in the game is like, hey, you can drop a pin wherever you want to. So like I could, like where we're at up here, like I could put a pin here. Well,
sure.
It's not, I can't leave yet, but I could drop a marker, and it's just wilderness, and that's where you're going to be hunting. So you can get a skinning bag and you can get a hunting bag, and that's where you get meat and upgrades and stuff like that. But yeah, this game is a lot denser, a lot deeper, and has a lot more systems than I anticipated at all.
It's reminded me a little bit of the original Fallout 1 and 2 that had this kind of isometric camera view. Things were a little weird, and you did have options like being able to recruit party members and go through things like this, but it of course was more of like a dice rolly RPG, whereas this one is more more real time and more not Twitch based exactly, but there is, you are aiming, you are specifically aiming at people.
Absolutely. And I think I can't remember if it was during one of our streams or not, but you called out the Wasteland games, and
which are also kind of doing that same thing.
100%. And I think that there's a lot of things here that are very much, and that's a very good description. Like this feels most recently like I played Wasteland 3, and this feels a lot more like one of those games than anything. I really like it. The action's been good. The story has been really well written. And what's crazy to think about is like I wrapped things up with Jane on my playthrough, that like I didn't do all the side quest stuff because some of those side quests were going to lower my reputation. Like I just didn't want to play it that way with her. But there's also just some really interesting beats that like I could have killed people that were detrimental for like me progressing the story forward. And like I found out stuff about one of the characters that become like I didn't think they could become a posse member. I thought they were just like some NPC in a village. They ended up being like a pretty big part of my story, and then like I even protected parts of their story. And
I wonder. I wonder what happens having these different characters. If you came up to this area with Jane before you even unlocked this dude, what if you just killed a bunch of people that were important to this your pig guy's story? Would those people be around, or could he come back and like could you go and kill yourself if you just went to Jane and just sniped her or something?
I mean, it's pretty wild because I was actually like ambushed by pigmen in my playthrough. And I was like, well, these are some weird fucking guys. And then I had another person was like, oh, I smell them on you. Like, I see those ears. Like, give me those ears, essentially. And this is not going to go well. I don't have any weapons. We'll see how this happens.
He seems friendly.
But yeah, like to your point, this could have played out very differently. And I'm very curious. Like, he blew me up. I got dang blown up. Yeah, man. Like I'm really digging it. It is a very obscure game. It deals heavily with the occult and brings that into a formula that, like, if you've played one of those older Fallout games, or if you've played, like, I would say, like, even like classic CRPG stuff. You know, like there's a lot of that here. Like those red paws in the upper right hand corner. Like there's a rattlesnake in front of me. If you're just playing a level and you're trying to like sneak in and do the stealth approach, which is how I've played a lot of the game, like you're gonna see rattlesnakes attack your enemies and then like cause these kind of or other animals, you know, like, or other people or other vendettas. I accidentally shot somebody in the midst of a crossfire. Unbeknownst to me, when I did that, their family member came running out and said, "You just killed my family," and started a vendetta. And as I was playing the game, like at various points in time, they would show up and really fuck things up for me. Like it wasn't great.
Sure.
But I really like the dice roll aspects of that story, and from an immersion standpoint, like I feel like I'm creating a really cool story that maybe other people won't play exactly the same way.
Yeah.
And I wasn't anticipating that from this game. And I think that's really cool. But I love, like, again, like I'm a tinkerer. I like to break things down. I like to upgrade. I like to collect loot. And this is a far denser experience on that front than what I expected. Like, this is a heavy-ass RPG.
And that's good to hear that it does have this density, because that's not what I got from my first impression of this. Just like looking at it, I thought, okay, this is like a smaller indie game that's doing something kind of cool. And then you look at the price tag and you go, wait a minute, this game is $40? This doesn't seem like a $40 game on first blush, but now that we're going through it and we're seeing that there's more to the story and you're playing multiple characters and there are all these different mechanics and it has all these different kinds of relationships and the way things play together, I'm starting to see why this would be $40.
Well, one of the other things too, I kind of moved past there while you're talking. I didn't mean to do it at that time, but there is a constant running timeline in this game, and there is a day cycle. So like some of the quests that you're going to get are like, hey, you have 7 days to do this, and as you're moving across the map, that is taking time. When you go to these little things like this, it is a lot less time, but like when you're out in the open world, it is absolutely moving much quicker, and you have to navigate that. I'm gonna die here. I didn't know what I was saying. But anyway, it's something that you have to look at to make sure, like, I want to take this quest, and not every quest is that way, but there's certain ones that have an expiration for sure, and you want to do your best to make sure that you're managing your queue of quests in a way that's going to be productive for what you got going on. There's a ghost bear, it looks like.
Yeah, why wouldn't there be?
I'm glad I'm dead. Because I want to put a little bit more time in understanding what's going on here. So if I went back to Jane really quick, just to pull up one of her saves as we wrap up here. a lot of cool stuff that you can do. The town has a lot of interesting people as you go from town to town, and the stories that you're going to be coming across are great as well. It's like, hey, do you want to double cross this person? Do you want to try and approach it this way? And the game does a good job of saying like, hey, there's always a way into an objective. And so environmentally speaking, you can blow up barrels, you can dump oil out and knock a lantern over and set everybody on fire. You can usually bust doors down. You have dynamite to really brute force your way into situations if you need to get a door open. There's lock picking. There's all kinds of stuff. You can usually find a key at most places. Interacting with vendors is very much like what you would expect. You can buy all these things or sell your shit. It's just very well thought out. It's a very robust, very dense game. And you said it best, Chase. Like, it's a lot more than what I expected, and I dig that quite a bit.
Yeah. Is that icon still up there? Can you go recruit that guy? Oh, yeah. Well, you're back to Jane now. Okay, I was wondering. Yeah, if you could also recruit him if you're the pig guy.
Yeah, I'm curious how that's going to play off when I go to town. Like, I'm sure people will not be as open to an ex-bounty hunter named Jane Bell as they are to a half-naked pig man. So I'm really
well. That's just prejudice, Bobby.
But here, like, let's just see. Like, I want to.
Wow, sure. You just want to kill a horse. I get it.
And you can make this stuff like go pretty wild.
Yeah, and I bet that doesn't change anything.
Not at all. Like, that's the innkeeper. So now that innkeeper for that place completely gone.
Sure.
That horse done.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And yeah, that's how quickly you can have things go weird west here.
Can you get the Rangers to come after you?
Seems that way.
Oh, yeah, the guys with stars. There they go. You seem not healthy.
I'm not healthy, and I don't have a whole lot to take care of it. So yeah, that's Weird West. Very cool game on Game Pass if you have that service. As Chase mentioned, $40 on most modern consoles that we have available to us. I think there's quite a bit of story that you can play, and it's a great way to experience and have a sim. It's just really neat. Like, I was super hype on this game before it came out, and I've only had it kind of returned on that investment for me. I'm going to be playing this game on stream, and if you want to follow our streams, you can do so by going to twitch.tv/casualhour. We also have a podcast that we record every Wednesday at 10:30 p.m. Central over on Twitch, and then publish that Friday mornings wherever you listen to your podcast. My name is Bobby. I'm the host of that show. Joining me is Chase. We have another member named Johnny, and we would love to have your support and input on what we do. So like, subscribe, follow where you can, and we'll be bringing a lot more games like Weird West your way. Chase, thanks so much for hanging out with me today.
Thank you.